Got my package in, and here's what it is. This is the game that started it all for me. Literally everything when it comes to not just playing FIFA, but being introduced to soccer slash football, whatever you want to call it, as a whole. And it's because of this man right here, Marco Reus. I know he's had a big year this year, a lot of farewells and all that stuff. I have a lot to be grateful for Marco Reus, and this is a little story time. So, for those who've known me for a while, y'all know that I was never into soccer slash football, whatever you want to call it, for ever. Like, people said the name Messi, Ronaldo and stuff, Pele. I heard their names, but didn't really know what they was about. And 2018, right? This came out, yes, this FIFA 17, so that was 2018. This game came out, and it sounds corny, but it actually is real. I ain't gonna front. The cover alone with the jersey and everything, I was like, dang, the game looks good. And I didn't see no form of gameplay. I knew it was soccer, but the cover alone I thought was cool looking. And I was like, oh, dang, what is this? And somebody next to me, I worked at Target at the time, said, you don't play FIFA? And I was like, no. And he explained, like, this is Marco Reus. Usually they have Messi as the cover of FIFA, but they was going with BVB legend right here, Marco Reus. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I like his jersey. His jersey's pretty cool. BVB, what is that? Is that a famous team? And he was like, so you don't know anything about soccer? I'm like, no, I've heard of Messi and Ronaldo, but I literally have never seen them in my life, never seen their faces. I've been into football, NFL football, and basketball all my life. Been growing up around it. My family's all about it, so on and so forth. And they was like, bro, you're missing out on soccer. I'm like, no, I'm not. They was like, dude, check this game out. You're already interested in the jersey and the guy alone. I was like, yeah, that is kind of weird. I see no form of gameplay. I'm not into soccer, but just seeing that cover, I was like, I want to play it. Literally, y'all, that's exactly how it went. It's the funniest thing for me because I was into wanting to at least try it just because the cover I thought was cool looking. The jersey was cool. You know, I thought, oh, wait, there we go. The jersey was cool. Because of the jersey, I wanted to know who this was. Then I wanted to know what BVB meant, which is this right here. Literally, all because the jersey was cool, which then made me want to know who the player was, which then made me want to know who the team was. And I was working at Target. I remember I made a little extra that day. And I was like, why am I... Like, I was debating because I think I was in my lunch break. I was in lunch break at work. And he was like, bro, think about it, but get it. You should get it. And I was like, you know what? I'll think about it. And after the lunch break, I was researching BVB or Borussia Dortmund, whatever, however you want to say it. And I was looking at what they do. The team in general, like knowing their history a little bit as I was at work. It was a slow day. And then I started to look up a trailer for this game. And it was a cool trailer. I actually just looked at it again just recently, just for reminiscing on the past. And I was like, okay, you know. And then there was a career mode, which I like career modes in sports games. And that caught my attention. FIFA 7, I think that was the first time they started, or was it 16? Where they had a more involved career mode. I think it was 17 they started. But it caught my interest, and I was like, all right, let's do it. You know, I had a little extra on me. I think I had like a $10 Target gift card too. And I got the game. I never forgot. I brought it home. My wife was like, you like soccer? When is this? I was like, to be real, I don't, but the game looks interesting. And my wife was like, so you bought the game because it looks interesting? You're not even into soccer? And I was like, no. Oh, and before that too, I asked the same person. I asked him, I was like, in case I wanted to get into soccer, what's the first thing I got to do? And he said, he was like, you said you don't know anything about Messi and Ronaldo, right? I was like, yes. He's like, well, they're playing, I think it was like the next week after that day. And I was like, okay. He says, watch them play, then come back to me. And I think they play like 3 days later after that conversation. And I was like, all right, he told me the network to watch it and all that stuff. And mind y'all, I know a lot of y'all FIFA, soccer, football fans are hyped when y'all hear Ronaldo and Messi, like their rivalry. Y'all was hyped watching it. Me, I'm just like, all right, let's see what these guys are about. I had no idea what they looked like. I heard their names but never saw their faces before. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So I get the game, and I'm gonna speed up this story. But I remember playing the game, and I'm like, this is interesting. I tried the career mode, had no idea what I was doing. I was missing every shot. I didn't know a thing. But my wife she pointed out to me that night. She was like, you've been on this game for 4 hours straight, and you haven't said a word. I literally didn't. I was all in. I'm like, I did not know what positions meant or nothing like that. It was just me kicking the ball. That was really it. And I played one, what was it, like head to head online. Got my tail whooped. I think it was like 8-0. But I was in. I was like, this game ain't too bad. Let me look more into soccer. And I was like, oh wait, the game against Messi and Ronaldo. And I asked my wife, I was like, do you know anything about Messi and Ronaldo? She do. She played soccer back in the day. So she knew who they were. I didn't. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this game and all that stuff. When I tell y'all, I was into that game. I wasn't really going for anybody. I just wanted to be a good game. I was wanted to be entertained. And I was Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Man, bro, I was all in. I was in. When I watched that game, I was sold to wanting to know soccer. And it's all thanks because of this game. All because of this cover, all because of this man right here, and because of this jersey. It all started because of this jersey, and then me wanting to know more about him and the whole squad got me into knowing who Ronaldo and Messi was, and then me being into knowing everything about the game. And I think, in my opinion, I still am a student of the game, but it all started because of this jersey right here. And honestly, and I said it to her after I watched that game, my wife saw how excited I was. I was like, man, that was intense. That was cool. Oh my goodness. All right, I got to know more about this game. And she was like shocked because in those 3 days before I watched that game, I was all into playing it. I started to get a little better. It was like I was playing it but not studying, and that was the thing. I was into the game but never really studied position, formations, or nothing like that. Even the players, I was just playing the game and get my tail whooped a lot. I think I won a couple, but I was getting my tail whooped a lot. I like playing competitive gaming, but me not playing a lick of soccer, I did not know what I was doing, but I was enjoying myself. And that's the best thing, is to first, enjoy something first before you get into wanting to know the information. And after I watched that soccer game, I was all in. I wanted to know everything about soccer. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start with this guy right here, Marco Reus. I was like, because he's the first one I saw. The jersey and him were the first two things. Well, the jersey was the first thing I saw. He was the first person I saw when it came to soccer. I'm going to study that. Mauricio Dorman and Marco Reus. And then when I studied Marco Reus, how great he is, then I started watching Mauricio Dorman games. I was all in. I watched basically almost every game. Every game. My one thing I never got the chance to was to watch him play live. But I was in, and it was Mauricio Dorman every step of the way. Then later in time, I started to get into Liverpool, but BVB will always be number one. And now I watch both of them, and I root for both of them. I've seen Jadon Sancho from the beginning, Jude Bellingham, which shout out to him for winning the Champions League. It was against the team that he started, but it was against BVB, which he came from, but still happy for him. I just kept in track. Even with Marco Reus, praying for him with his injuries. His injuries is, it was unfortunate. He had not a lot. He had a nice amount of them. But to hear, to see his farewell was, it was heartfelt. It was cool to see. I watched every game that I could, and even if I missed a game, I watched the highlights and all that stuff. He is the biggest reason. The reason y'all see me talking about soccer, playing soccer, is all because of Mauricio Dorman and Marco Reus. My loyalty will always be to them. And yes, I like other teams and I like watching games, but because of them, I watch female soccer. I watch the United States. I watch all different kinds. World Cup. I'm all in. Now I'm into right now in my life right now. I'm looking at histories. Like, I don't know a lot of history players. Like, I want to know more about Pele. I want to know more about Real Madrid of old. So on and so forth. Mauricio Dorman of old. And it all started because of this. The reason I bought this is because it's like, I call it Marco Reus' year this year. I wanted to have this in honor of him because this is what started everything. Interest, literally walking by a gaming section as I'm working and seeing the cover. This just came out. It was sitting in the front row, like in the front of the game section, and I'm like, and mind you, I've never got into soccer. Nothing. It never caught my attention. To this day, I laugh at the fact that a jersey it caught my attention, which then made me interested in everything else. But shout out to Marco Reus. Thank you for getting me into soccer. Thank you for getting me into it. I was playing this game for hours. I wanted to know more about your team. Before I even knew what I was doing, I wanted to know more about you and your team. So if anybody sees, if they can share this video, please give Marco Reus my thanks. It's because of him I got into not just FIFA, but the whole world. And there's still a lot to learn. Like, I still think I'm a rookie compared to so many other ones. But I'm all in. I'm all in. You know, the dream, which would be cool if I owned the team. You know, but that's cool. But yeah, playing the game to this day. I play the game for fun. You know, I'm a lot better now than I used to be when I played the game. But the fun is still there. And it'll never leave. And it's hilarious because I'm the only one in my family that's into soccer. Nobody's into like I'm the only one watching it. Outside, like my wife will watch it. I'm talking about like brother, family, other family members, stuff like that. And shout out to the homie that I worked with at Target. He told me, just watch this game. And oh, by the way, I did tell him I went back to work after that that I watched that game. And I'm like, bro, how did I not know Ronaldo and Messi? But to be real with y'all, I'm not saying he's better than them, but Marco Reus is my Messi and Ronaldo. I've been riding for and rooting. I've been rooting for Marco Reus since the day I saw this game. And I know y'all say Messi, Ronaldo, and I'm not saying he's better than them, but when I talk about influence, someone that got me into the game, still had love for the game. Even when I play Ultimate Team, I want to make sure I have Marco Reus on my team, or I try to get him whenever I have the coins, because I don't really buy packs like that. I always want to make sure I get him because he started it all for me. So it's, Marco Reus is my Messi, is my Ronaldo, whatever you consider your best player. That's him for me. I wouldn't have watched Ronaldo and Messi without him. So Marco Reus, if you ever see this video, thank you. I hope nothing but the best for you in your new adventures. I don't know what he's going to be doing in the future. Well, we'll find out. Someone said that he's going to join the LA Galaxies. That would be hilarious. I've never been one to care to meet a celebrity and get a picture with him. I've never really been one. I met Shaq before, but it was never, oh my goodness, this and that, Shaq. I made him laugh by saying, hey, Kazam, It made him laugh because you know how people think about Kazam. I actually like Kazam. But that is someone though I would like to take a picture with. I would like to take a picture with, put the thumbs up, and thank him for, what he did. With Mauricio Dorma, I would like to see a game of them live. I'm glad Jadon Sancho's back. I believe he's going to do well over there. He has been doing well. I said it before when he first joined the league that he's going to be a superstar. It's going to happen. But yeah. And so, because of Marco Reus, I got into the game of football. Because of Marco Reus, I got into learning different players. That's why Sergio Ramos is one of my favorite players, because I love playing defense when I play NFL or basketball. And Sergio Ramos and Virgil van Dijk is one of the top echelons of defensive players. One of the top performers, one of the top players of defensive football, or just the game as a whole. But I really enjoy watching them play. I mean, I know, Sergio Ramos is still playing. He's not with Real Madrid no more. It hasn't been for a while, but I still keep track of his games. Virgil van Dijk, still watch him. He's actually one of the reasons I got into Liverpool, because I watched Virgil van Dijk, and so on and so forth. But all of it started, the originator of it all is Mauricio Dorma and Marco Reus. So to the both of y'all, thank you. I will always be loyal to the team. I was happy we made it to the Champions League. Didn't win it, but we got there. And, that's a huge step. Huge step. And Marco Reus, nothing but prayers for you for your next adventures. I look forward to seeing what it is. I mean, if you're still playing, if you're not going to retire and you're still playing and you come to America, I need to figure out what team that is so I can go watch you play. I would love to go to your first game. But yeah. Anyway, please share this. I hope it reaches out to him. That would be so cool and he reaches out back. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. It would be cool if Shalby shared this to Mauricio Dorma as well. I am a huge fan, all because I bumped into this game while working at Target. It's amazing how things work out. It's amazing because you could ask anybody. I didn't give soccer the time of day at the time. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Just wanted to share a little quick story time. Shout out to Baricio Dorman. Shout out to Marco Royce. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much. But anyway, see you later.